So last night I was quite exhausted, and since I started streaming daily now, and the reason I'm doing it, it's because I'm taking it as the job. So I didn't announce this stream. I just did it literally not like hour before now. Thank you very much. So I ordered my coconut to get some potassium in, and got my supplements in the morning, and just came out to this nearby cafe and decided to make hi. I'm not a natural redhead, but people say I look quite natural. Anyway, so I didn't have any ideas, didn't have any plans for today whatsoever, so at least for daytime. So I decided to make just questions and answers, Q&A. So feel free to ask questions. And on occasion, I will ask questions to you too, and you will be able to respond as well. So Logan, no, I'm not a natural redhead. Introduce yourself. Where are you from? How are you doing? Are you training? This channel is actually majorly about training and exercising. I personally do sprinting. What else I do? Sprinting, boxing. And yeah, we're talking about martial arts usually here, and feel free to engage. And there is no one watching right now, which is not a problem. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit. Hi, let me know if the sound is good, if the microphone working properly. So it's questions and answers. Okay, I can see that the viewers are adding up, so I'm just gonna start talking in general. So my name is Diana. My channel is Redhead Diaries, where I mostly share my training, my journey in the it started from sprinting basically. I decided to start sprinting from zero, and first around 10 months that's what I've been doing mostly. Then me and my husband moved to Vietnam, specifically in Nha Trang. So we're living here now for a few months, up until August. And there were some issues with finding a track and the proper training for sprinting. So I kind of refocused on boxing. I did some boxing videos before too, because I wanted to do combination. Because boxing being something that I've been doing for years. I've been competing in amateur boxing for a little while back in the junior years, and I've been coaching, I've been working online and offline consistently and training boxing on and off. And after training sprinting and basically seeing how it contributed in my boxing training, I refocused mainly on boxing, and I'm planning to do both boxing and sprinting once I'm back to Georgia. So you can check out my channel if you want, and you can see what it's all about. Okay, I can see there's a question. What job do you do? As my income source, I'm a personal trainer, and I'm working mostly online as a personal trainer and consultant. I'm helping people to do the lifestyle optimization and training. Obviously, we do personal trainings, diet optimization, sleep, all kind of like this, that sort of things. So I have some clients that's been working with me consistently. I like to do long-term work, and I work with people long-term mostly. And now I'm doing YouTube, so I consider that as my job as well. I just hit the 4,000 watch hours, so trying to apply for the monetization and the partners program on YouTube. So even though today nothing was planned specifically, I just decided to go live stream, just to do Q&A. So you're all free, feel free to ask questions. Also, guys, I'm letting you know I'm not gonna focus on the, teasing and trolling too much, and the people who's gonna go way too far, I'm just gonna kick them out of the channel also. So whoever's gonna want to moderate, possibly, I have some moderators, but if there's gonna be a need, I might be able to add some moderators as well. I appreciate all the compliments, thank you. Also spamming, guys, don't spam too much. That also I'm gonna stop you from doing that. How good is Sanda martial art? I'm not familiar with that specific martial art. I can tell you my opinion regarding boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, mixed martial arts as it is, judo, wrestling, more of the classic westernized martial arts. That's what I can tell you about. Not trolling, you're too cute, that's all. Yeah, no problem. It's just, too much spamming, trolling, joking, dark humor, all is fine. Enjoy yourself and engage with each other as well. But just still be respectful. You know what I mean. Hello from Germany. Hi, Germany. Hello from Vietnam. It's like a Chinese kickboxing, but with grappling, throwing, where, well, all the martial arts where you have a contact, they're full contact martial arts, and you have, in Georgia we have something called Khridoli. It is also similar, it's similar to the mixed martial arts. We basically have kickboxing, like you have striking and grappling both, and the point system I am not familiar exactly with, but I believe that the more sides you have to the martial arts, the more it's fully equipped, both striking, grappling, takedown, defense, elbows, knees, the more it can really be useful, I think, and it develops a diversity of the skill set. That's what I believe. Though I do boxing, that might be one-directional sports, but also we have sports like taekwondo, boxing. They're like unidirectional, but they're specializing so well on the one direction, they become very, very efficient in that specific direction. What country are you from? Cool accent. I'm from Georgia. It's a country in the Caucasus region. If you know Merab Dolashvili, Ilia Topuria, maybe some other famous Georgians like Levan Saginashvili, Georgian Hulk, and Lasha Talakhadze, the weightlifter, the world record holder, powerlifting in the power snatch. That's the same country. We all are from the same country, and it's a very small country. Okay, I knew that in the stream, I literally, did you see Conor McGregor picture? No, I don't want to get traumatized. I'm not gonna look at that picture, but I watched, I was just looking through the YouTube videos, and this video was like, okay, another shit that Conor did. And it was a short video, so I managed to watch, and man, it's such a shame, such a shame. He could be one of the best. He was, at some point, he was a prime, he was, one of the best in the world. But I mean, one of the best, like GSP type of best, great personality, great human being, respectful to his family. But instead, I guess that's the. I'm sorry, I don't like to say things like that, but he genuinely is becoming one of the dumbest UFC personas out there. It's just not even funny how dumb his behavior is. I want you to guess you on YouTube live stream with me. Well, look at you can email me and we can talk about it. Okay. Yeah, this live stream I'm not inviting anyone. We're just gonna do Q&A. I also apologize, guys. I'm a little bit tired today. Yesterday, you can watch my yesterday's live stream. I did the strength training, and I've been explaining what I was doing there. So if you are interested, you can watch yesterday's live stream as well later. And yeah, just a little bit. One of those weird days when you feel quite worn off. Just need a little rest. But I'm trying to be consistent with streaming, so at the very least, I always try to do Q&As. Okay. Samson, I can pronounce what's your YouTube name, but I'll read out the comment. I'm kind of overweight for my height, 5'10", and then 103 kgs. What do you suggest for me? You need to combine resistance training and general training for both muscle growth and calorie expenditure to increase your calorie spending. But at the same time, you need to start tracking your calories and nutrition. You need to get some calorie tracking app. That's what I would suggest because that's what I do myself. Get Chronometer, that's the app I'm using. The free feature, free version gives a good insight on the deeper analysis on the nutrition, so you can see basically the breakdown on the aminos and macros and micronutrients, and literally what you are lacking, what did you take through your food or didn't take. And also it gives you, according to your goal, it gives you the exact calorie intake according to the base activity level BMR. But also there is a feature you can add up activity that you're doing daily if you're training and exercising, and that can modify the calorie intake. Basically, you need to start tracking your calories. It's my birthday today. Happy birthday. Boxing is my life. Boxing is my life, part of my life too. That's boxing. It's great to be if it's your part of your life. Hello, madame. Hi. Conor McGregor. Yeah. Anyways, as I said, lame. This is when I started watching UFC action when Conor was at his prime, and he was one of the motivation for all of us. That's why I'm actually, it's my personal heartbreak as well to a certain extent. When you get famous to that extent, your level of responsibility increases too. Your responsibility and accountability towards your audience, towards your family, publicity, it's way easier. It's like nothing to ruin your own reputation. And, well, that's a good example when it comes to Conor. What are your thoughts about Ilia Topuria? Ilia Topuria, I believe, definitely Conor was his inspiration when he was starting training mixed martial arts. You can see that. But I think Ilia is completely opposite side of the Conor when it comes to the discipline, being a family person, understanding the responsibility, the brand. He's trying to build the brand, the legacy. He's trying to build a business around it. He's not going to put his reputation at stake. That's what I can tell you. I also heard Ilia talking Georgian as well, when he's talking Georgian to people, and some when he talks Georgian, and I can definitely see that he's not going to pursue the same path as Conor. And as a fighter, he's one of the hungry, extremely talented, but extremely smart in his preparation. His team is also very smart, because I think one of his main coaches is his brother as well. So yeah, they're aiming for very big. It's not just about UFC and fighting. He wants to build his name big. Redhead, where are you from? Originally, I'm from Georgia, the country. Sakartvelo. What's your name? My name is Diana. Yes, I dye my hair. I'm naturally like a ash, light brown, something like that. My favorite karaoke girl. Yeah, some people know me as a karaoke girl only. You can check out my YouTube and you see that I'm quite diverse. In Georgian, that's called Vela Pershiki. It's a little bit, it can be a little bit of offense, but it also can be a compliment. It's meaning that a person who does many things at a time. And I always been that person. Well, who's your favorite music artist? There are many, I think. I like old school music. I'm into music that is older than me, mostly. But there are the artists. One of the first ones that comes to my mind is Beth Hart. I would love her. Would love to meet her one day, hopefully. And a lot of people don't know her, but she's a great rock blues musician. I'm from Indonesia. That's great. Do you think I need to be on a calorie deficit? Yeah, absolutely. You need. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to burn your fat. A fitness coach. I used to be a fitness coach in the gym, but now I'm a self-employed personal trainer. You can check my platforms, Instagram. You can email me if you have any questions. And what I work with is basically throughout the years, I've been in the field for 7 years, and 5 years out of that, it's the online training and working. So my portfolio is quite diverse. As much as I do resistance and hypertrophy training, obviously gaining and losing, building muscle, burning fat, and body recomposition in general. I also do my fascial release, stretching, pain relief, and trauma prevention. Like working around a certain, and basically just conditioning, strength and conditioning, and toning up the body. So I work, a lot of my clients are just complete beginners, amateurs. They used to be at the beginning at least, and their goal is to just be healthy, and they pursue longevity. But also I had an experience working with, especially when I'm in a country, like I work, I do pad work, I can put the striking technique and help you to build up the boxing technique, especially focusing on the boxing, a little bit some basic kicks and some basic kickboxing movements as well. So yeah, that's what I do. So you're basically saying eat chicken, rice, and occasional tuna? No, absolutely not. The reason why I say do calorie tracking, because you actually can eat like very diverse food. I love food. I love eating, and like me and my husband make sandwiches, we make wraps, we make like some Asian style food, some Indian style food with a little bit like a lower calorie sauces and stuff, and we managed to stay in the deficit. Also considering that we like to eat once or twice a day, sometimes 3 times, but we don't eat like a 4 time, 5 time a day. And I believe that if you really want to go deficit, think about it. Especially if you love eating, you would rather do a smaller portions and many times per day. If it works, fine, but if it does not, it's completely okay to eat twice a day and have a bigger portion of the meal, both calorie-wise and volume-wise. We also use tricks like using low-calorie foods to increase the volume, and obviously those are vegetables and high-fiber foods. So we also take our fiber in that way. And as I said, like if you just eat chicken, rice, and occasional tuna, you're actually going to be deprived in a lot of micronutrients. That's why I really suggest to start calorie tracking, because you're also going to learn what you're being deficient in. Is there a mental checklist of sort of I need to keep while practicing throwing hooks? I'm beginner, very beginner. I didn't understand the question exactly. Well, just practice, but take it slowly. If you're a beginner, I highly suggest to take it slowly. Don't go sparring, just do the smart work first. Set your technique first. When you're gonna gradually start transiting to the couple work, doing some combinations and doing some task sparring, certain tasks and during the light sparring and technical sparring, and then you gradually add up. Just do it in a smart way. There is nothing wrong to ask a more experienced opponent to tell them that you're completely beginner. You want to work on certain things now, and they can help you with that. So that's what I would suggest. And use for technique. You can do a mirror shadow boxing. Just stand in front of the mirror and work on it. Just practice. Raymond says, my daily maintenance is 5,500 calories. Well, you definitely probably are training quite hard. You're probably an athlete, especially in some weightlifting type of sport. I can guarantee you almost, or both weightlifting, resistance training and fighting. So if yes, good for you. You're gonna need that many calories for maintenance. Does caffeine cause weight gain, or it acts as a diuretic? Not really. I didn't experience that myself. Obviously, caffeine has some cognitive benefits, but it also has negative sides when it comes adenosine receptors, and basically just it can mess up your circadian rhythm, meaning it can mess up your sleep pattern, meaning it can mess up everything essentially. So depending on what is your caffeine tolerance, and you might be able to drink one, and that might not be bad for you. It's also about you shouldn't drink it too early and too late. There's a certain timing in the midday that it's the best time to drink caffeine. But also it does not directly cause the weight gain. Everything lays on the calorie in, calorie out. That's the main thing. Some other factors can maybe increase the appetite or decrease the appetite. Something like that. So, meaning that you might eat more and less. How you deal with toxic people? I'm practicing. I think I mastered it quite well, but I'm just keep practicing the art of detachment. Just detach, and obviously try to not have very toxic people in your close circle. It's very hard to be detached all the time when it's your daily life, when you have to deal with the toxic family members or friends or a partner. That is hard. But that's what I would recommend. Try to surround yourself with the positive, with the consistent, respectful, responsible people to give you a good reality check, but they're absolutely willing to help you to be better, not opposite. But at the same time, when it comes to the rest of the people, because you cannot avoid everyone, all toxic people, just detach. Don't take it personally. Trust me, it's not personal. It's people being toxic. When we are toxic, that is our unresolved traumas, that's our insecurities, that's something that is on us, that's something that is our issue, that's not your problem. Ilia Topuria has the best discipline and mentality. One of the best in the UFC currently, I believe so. Because he has the very clean goal. I think he has quite a big ego, but he's directing it in a very good way. He wants to put his name in history, basically, and that is the history of the martial arts. Did you hear that the YouTuber Iswell.com said about you? Are YouTubers talking about me? I don't know. Let me screenshot that. I'll look it up. If it's a real thing. I don't know though who is that. I mean, I'm not. I watch certain YouTubers, and I use YouTube as the learning platform majorly for myself as well. When I want to look up for some information, for some updates, but yeah. I don't know, if someone else talking about me, I think that's good. Thank you for the hair color. Not natural though, not natural ginger, but I'm ginger at the heart, so. Yeah, I'm scrolling all the way down, guys. It's quite a lot of fuck. It's sorry for the swearing. It's a lot of engagement. Well, don't be sorry. I'm just like, as I said, I am here not reading all of those things out loud. It's fine. And also, YouTube sees trolls and any type of engagement as an engagement, so it definitely has more positive than negative unless you don't take it personally. I'm from Georgia. I'm just trying to scroll down faster. As I said, I'm from Georgia. Do you think Islam versus Ilia will happen in future? I think so. I think they're just hyping it up. I think they're just making it that fans are like getting hyped up. I love helping. Well, good. We should help each other, people. Like the world would be a better place if we just put our egos aside and actually just focus on helping each other and helping ourselves. Thank you for scrolling down. Yes, I should do faster sometimes and just. Guys, I forget that I'm getting more views than I used to do before. So now I don't have. Like, I need to balance between giving a longer answers and also being able to follow up the chat. USA, Georgia, or Georgia country? Country. Sakartvelo. I like that you're not covered in makeup. Well, it's also extreme. Like, I don't really like skin makeup. It really ruins your skin. So I never use anything on my skin. Maybe sometimes like just under my eyes, but nothing more than that. And it's also Southeast Asia, guys. It's very, very hot. Like, if you put a makeup, you're just gonna look like that. That's gonna become a layer of dirt in 5 minutes. So there's no point of the makeup here. Okay. You didn't read mine. I said I wrote about my intern concern. I remember from the last stream, I think you were like you had a crush on your intern. I think you're the one, yeah. Well, as I said, I mean, take a look at it because if you're interns, right? That's your job, potentially future job, consistently, and hope it doesn't mess it up. Okay, if something goes wrong between you two, but if you think that it's okay and you take that responsibility, just go ahead. Don't be shy. We actually need less of the feminine caretaking spirit right now that's gotten us into our suicidal immigration situation. Oh, when you just talk about politically, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, that might be like a feminine, just general, yeah, I want to help everyone, but it has its right place and right time. Definitely not in a political situation. I'm from the Georgia. That country survived. Muslims survived the Russians and Soviets, survived the Roman Empire, it survived Mongols, survived Persians. We fought all the time, and trust me, Georgians understand more than others how it's important to prioritize your own citizens in your own country. Unfortunately, in my country, that doesn't happen exactly either. It's not that much of the immigration, it's more of the other political type of situation. But no, absolutely, like when it's a masculine dominated field, when it requires more masculine type of decisions, let's call it that way, whether it's a female politician or male politician, I think they need to go pursue that and they need to have a good understanding. Unfortunately, I agree, a lot of female politicians, they are focusing too much on the helping everyone, but essentially it just, everyone suffers at the end. You need to have a strong boundaries, and yeah, as a country, you need to have a strong immigration policies in place. Can I ask your age? I'm 28. Where's Georgia? Georgia is in the Caucasus region, bordering with Russia, and I'm 25 years old. Keep scrolling down. You don't need any makeup. Yeah, I don't think either. What are your thoughts on the Jagdam Madlena versus Islam? One of the best strikers we've seen versus one of the best grapplers we've seen. We'll see. Both of them are great. Both of them are hungry, and it might be sound banal and too cliche, but I always say when at that level, both fighters are top tier, and it's guaranteed that it's going to be an interesting fight. I think it's about who's going to impose their game in the fight, and obviously break the opponent psychologically, wear them out. Also, stamina matters. I think whoever has a stronger stamina also gonna have a better advantage. What content do you do? Advice? Well, just go check my YouTube. Might not be the best content in the world, but I'm more stick to the consistency, and this is so far, here I am now. I started streaming lately, and this is where my views and my engagement just went way higher than usual. Tell us a little about yourself, education, job, family, etc. Well, I'm a personal trainer. I work for 7 years in that field, 5 years out of it online work, and that's the main source of income. Basically, that is, I took the full-scale course when I was back in Georgia, and since then I learned English to be able to update myself on the latest information in the fitness and this science, science regarding fitness and dieting and the sleep and just longevity and health. I also doing martial arts, boxing, training almost entire life. I'm married, my husband are traveling now. Currently we're in the Vietnam, Nha Trang, and he has an actor role. He's like a backbone of this channel. He's literally, he's like my manager, so he helps me to, he motivates me, he pushes me to do things when I'm feeling insecure about myself, and he's the one who believes in me, and yeah, that's like as short as I could put it. I said I was confused. I knew you did kickboxing. Mostly boxing. I know how to do some kicks, but my primary direction is boxing. But I didn't know you were into UFC. I think everyone who does different, even if you don't do mixed martial arts directly, but you do wrestling separately or boxing or kickboxing, I think you're pretty much, at least you watch UFC, you might not watch some other organizations that much. There is one championship, there are some other smaller organizations, there is, I don't watch those that much. I'm gonna look into it more because I'm getting more and more interest into it. But yeah, with the regarding UFC, I've tried to keep updated quite for some time now. Are you interested in joining UFC? No, I would pursue boxing, amateur first, and we'll see. Maybe professional. You never know how it goes. Depends how good I would be. But I'm more a trainer. I'm more of the coach and a teacher with my personality. So that is getting back to the competitive boxing is part of my. I just want to be able to build myself up to the point that I fulfill my potential and see what I can do there. So that makes my teaching others more valid. That's what is my long-term plan. Greetings from USA. Believe me, we're having political problems. Everyone's having political problems right now. I understand that. Okay, let's just not focus on the politics right now. Right now, we cannot change anything about it. So let's focus on the things we can do, and I believe we can actually start from ourselves, from our families, start creating a stronger family structure, but also the healthy one, learn from the past mistakes and avoid toxicity within the family, create the harmony and the balance within the nuclear family. And then communities, we need to start contributing and making our community stronger. Doesn't matter if it's a neighborhood or a city or a county. And this is how you get stronger. This is how you have a bigger influence on everything else, like politics and all the bigger scale events. Okay, keep scrolling down. What is make countries if you immigrate to it legally and some throw the door? Yeah, exactly. I mean, it might be a harder way, but you got to respect the country you enter in. As much as I disagree, for example, with the extremist Muslim countries, if I would have to go there for whatever reason, I would have to I would have to respect their environment, obviously, for my own safety, but also because this is how it works. For good or for bad, this is how it works. If you respect others in their country, in their home, you also can require the same respect in your country, in your home. Can I go with training with me like martial arts? Because, well, I'm not sure how I would be able to train with you, but it's always good to train martial arts. It's like an extra confidence, extra skill set to be able to defend yourself. But obviously, the best self-defense is a gun, and sprinting fast is also a good defense, and just avoiding engaging in the conflict is also a good defense, self-defense. So try to avoid that in the first place. But if you end up in the situation where it's just inevitable, obviously that skill set of the combat sports is gonna be very, very helpful. Oh my God, your husband's a bodybuilder. He did some bodybuilding in the early years, but he actually he used to be in extreme sports. He's been doing a proximity wingsuit, flying, base jumping, basically jumping from the mountains with a squirrel suit. That's something he was specializing in. It's one of the most dangerous sports in the world, actually. Okay, I hope you have a good night from Texas, USA. I love Texas. Me and my husband love Texas, and we always meet good people from Texas. This is the way my first time interacting with your channel. When I said advice, I meant that I thought you were giving advice to people earlier about interns. Yeah, I mean, it's, I didn't, like, there was a question before in the previous stream regarding having a crush on in the fellow intern in the same space, but yeah, I don't do any, like, if you meant anything else, that's not the case. Thank you for real advice. Thank you. Slava, hi Ukraine. You speak UK English, you study there? No, I'm self-taught. I learned in Georgian. And I had some British clients, so, like I had, when I learned advanced vocabulary, but I was still not fluent. So I would tell my client, spread your leg fingers. That's what I told her, which are toes, obviously, right? But in Georgian, Russian, it's leg fingers. And she was like, Diana, let me correct you. It's not fingers, it's toes. So I think there is some British English influence in my English, but also my husband has generic, he's Norwegian, but his English is also generic, I would say generic American English. And this is where, like, because I have 24/7 communication with him now, this is how my English ended up to be with all those different influences. Okay, I'm scrolling down. Tyler says, I've self-taught some Taekwondo and took karate, but I'm looking into Jiu-Jitsu. I would recommend maybe personal coaching lessons online. And if you want me, even more subscribers, try SM. Yeah, well, I'll look into it. And good for you. Jiu-Jitsu is a great sport, so definitely you should try it out. But be careful, it's also quite a high risk of injuries if you go too resistant to, like, try to be focused on technique, try to build up a technique, learn how to use the power of physics and the skill sets to, do the efficient BJJ grappling rather than just forcefully doing it, because I've seen people just getting injuries that they had to recover months to get back into it again, and that's just a waste of time, right? So just be careful with that. Okay. Okay, tell us something about your teeth treatment, like the wire treatment. Is painful or not so much, and how effective it is? Well, it is very effective. I started in Georgia with a very good orthodontist and a good clinic for a very affordable price. Georgia and Vietnam both have way more affordable price than anywhere else, I would say. And I didn't have very messed up teeth. They were just too narrow. So my dentist literally just told me that if I didn't want to lose my teeth by the time I was 30, I had to expand my jaw. And this is how I started. So yeah, it's just it was painful in the beginning, and it's painful every time I go to the appointment and I tighten it up. But now I'm so used to it. It's just literally 1 day or 2 days, a little bit of sensitivity, and pretty much it's okay. But as I said, I guess my case wasn't that extreme from the very beginning. Some people, I've seen some teeth, I googled it up once and I was like, oh my gosh, that gotta be painful in the beginning, while having teeth all over and putting them in the row. But my experience been pretty much positive. Thank you very much for all positive comments and compliments. I appreciate it. Okay, hello. I have looked into the marriage, but it's way too expensive, so I just bought you a ring. Don't mind. Well, I already am married. I have a husband, well, the world is big. Maybe try to travel. I understand there is some problems in the Western cultures when it comes, especially big city life standard. Women can become quite delusional and quite having those unrealistic expectations. But I believe that if you go to the countryside of every country, you're going to find more base people, more grounded people. If you go to the countries like Georgia, who's been struggling politically, and there are a lot of daily challenges there, you can find some, down-to-earth people there too. And I believe that you need to look in the right environment if you want to find a partner who is down to earth. Say both men and women. I've subscribed to your channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. I also comment and share video. I'll look into it. Wait, I actually need to expand my jaw. I had jaw surgery twice already, but jaw expansion and adult is complicated, I've heard. I didn't. Okay, let me just correct it. My teeth, like I needed to expand my teeth. I think my jaw, the way it is, I also lost some teeth, but because my jaw is already the way it developed, and you're right, it's very hard to expand it. Like you need to do it once you're a child. You need to wear those the mouth guards specialized for the expanding the mouth when you're a child, basically. That's not like we didn't do that when I was a kid, but because I lost a couple teeth and when I started expanding my teeth, they actually filled up the space. So basically, I don't need any implants, nothing. The way my jaw developed and the way my teeth is filling up the space now and expanding, it works. It's gonna fit a good standard. I just wanted to change what I said before a little bit, so I don't confuse you a little regarding that. Thank you very, very much for all the positive. Hi, I just watched your older videos now and came here. I'm 98 kgs and 5 feet, want to reduce weight. Been in a calorie deficit anymore advice, started walking too. Well, seems like you're being calorie deficit, but I would still recommend to start to do calorie tracking if you haven't done it. If you really want to see a real deficit and really control it and be able to fill out your nutritional requirements, but also be able to eat in a flexible way, do calorie tracking, use the calorie tracking app. Walking is great base level of activity. I think you should walk daily, no matter what, even if you're not training. It's just good for your longevity and health, and obviously that's going to help you to burn those extra calories. But also start doing resistance training. The more muscle you have in your body, the more muscle you grow, the better your metabolism becomes. You burn your fat more efficiently, actually. So start doing some resistance training as well. Add it up at least a couple of times a week would be a good start. And the full body, don't focus only on the one group of muscle, try to do a full body training. Okay, and keep scrolling down. Okay, and keep scrolling down, guys. Okay, I'm all the way up to the top now. Where's the super chat? I'm still applying to the monetization. I had some issue with the number verification because I'm in a different country and I use roaming, but my number just simply didn't want to get through. So I contacted support and they're trying to solve this issue now. But anyways, I'm trying to apply to it, but soon it will be there, trying to set it up. Then I subscribe to your channel and full sports. Thank you very much. Hi everyone. I worked at the restaurant and when Muslim customers came to eat. I'm not gonna read that out loud. It was funny though. You're naturally extremely beautiful. Wow. Well, thank you, I guess. My father is Georgian, my mom is Slavic. She has a Slavic roots. It's half Russian, half Ukrainian. And I guess, but also, guys, it's a good lighting. I cut quite some weight. So if you compare me now between when I was 18 years old, my facial structure was different. There was a little bit baby fat. There was a little bit, my teeth I didn't wear braces at the time, so they were more narrow. I had like a big cheeks. My eyebrows were like I have a weird shaped eyebrows, so I had to do a little bit of blading and obviously grow some of my eyebrow hair. Anyways, the point is that it's slight modifications can change your facial shape, when you lose your weight. Eyebrows, try to get a good shape of eyebrows, whether a man or woman, because it's emphasized, it features to your eyes. Try to have a good haircut. For women, it's always beautiful to have longer hair. I really believe that. For men, it's just the right beard shape or if you don't wear beard, just the right haircut. Or it doesn't matter if you're bald, just wear it, you know. My husband is bald, he just shaves off, like, you know, down to zero. And yeah, just find that what enhances your looks. Obviously looking fit, training, having that, giving away that vibe also helps. So the reason why I'm telling you though that is because I also kind of, how to say that, like, what is the word in English? I forgot. So basically I became better looking now than I was when I was 18, when I was younger, because as I said, I make some changes. Hello, subscribed. Well, thank you, appreciate it. Once you do memberships, you can do all members only live, a lot of good benefits with that. Yeah, absolutely, and I would do literally more of the informative content, you know, obviously maybe more some questions and Q&As as well, but I think when people pay for the membership, it's good to provide even better, like more insights on the information, go through a certain individual case, you know, help with those kind of things. So I'm really looking forward to do that. Okay, I understand the teas and gel stuff now. Glad it worked out for the better for you. I do have to go, but good night. I will subscribe now. Thank you very much. You're nice, interactive, interesting. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the subscription guys. You know, I never say go subscribe to my channel and stuff. If you watch my videos, I never said that in a single video, because I believe that if you feel like subscribing, if you vibe with the person and you think they give away some value and you just simply like them, you will do that anyway. So I appreciate it. Thanks for advice and specific training routine. And I'm 89 kg, previous was 95 kg. Well, any specific training routine, if you do resistance training, if you don't do anything else, if you don't want to learn any specific skill set like combat sports, striking, grappling, and if you're asking about resistance training specifically, you can combine strength and hypertrophy training. Hypertrophy training is just good for men to build up it's called V-shape of the body. Sorry, I got thirsty. But anyways, so if we're talking about aesthetical look, I think any guy, every man can enhance their look, their presence, if they build up that V type of shape, meaning traps, shoulders, wide lats, chests, up to you. I don't see anything wrong with the chest being a little bit more flat, a little bit more buffed. It's like up to your genetics, up to your preference as well. But like the specifically back training and shoulder training in the combination can definitely develop that. Obviously, guys, train legs as well. Don't neglect legs. Have a separate day for the leg training. But in general, V type of shape, that just helps. You look completely different, and it really enhances your looks and your the way how people perceive you. But when it comes to the training, you can look into the split type of training. Basically, do the split. One day you do on the back and pull upper body. Another day you do push upper body, and the third day you do legs. And basically, you can do this 3 times a day, 3 times a week like this. You can do even more detailed split. So if you want to expand it more, like to 4 or 5 days of the training, you can do separate smaller groups of muscles as well, like biceps, triceps if you want, but that's not my personal favorite. And also you can do full body training as well. There's nothing wrong with doing full body. Full body you can do 2 times per week, so you have enough timing between one day and another day, at least 3 days in between, so you have a pretty much good recovery in between. But for hypertrophy training, I would say this classic split, pull, push, and legs, lower body. it's the best, and it's one of the best approaches. And it's very simple. It's very old school, and yeah, it has the best exercises and trainings, I believe, are the simple and quite down to earth. Nothing fancy. Nothing, You don't try to add anything just for the sake of adding up. And for hypertrophy, we want to stick to the somewhere between 6, 8 to 12, 15 reps, like in that neighborhood. And you would want to get to the muscle failure. So because you want to reach the muscle failure, basically meaning that you cannot do the repetition anymore, I would recommend to, if you don't have a training partner who can spot you on the free weights, be careful with the free weights. You can use machines. You can use machines in the gym that can help you do it in a safe way. That is my basically recommendation, like a general hypertrophy training. If you want to make a strength training, just taper it down to less than 5 repetitions, rest longer, rest longer, and you don't necessarily have to do failure at all. How to get started with boxing? Go to the boxing gym. Go find a good boxing gym. Get the community in. It's good to get a trainer who can build up your technique a little bit and help you with the work at the very beginning, and then you can attend groups and group classes and just engage with people. If you cannot afford that, just go directly to the group classes and take it slowly, okay? Keep your own pace and try to learn, try to absorb everything that the coach will tell you. And just be consistent, okay? Just start and be consistent. And bro, you look cute. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, and thank you. One time a Chinese man asked for directions, and I sent him for walking extra 5 kilometers. That's hilarious, and I completely love it. I do love it. Do you think kickboxing will ever make a full comeback? Have you heard of Mike Hawk? He's been huge in my local community. Oh yeah, I heard about him. I haven't seen many of his fights. Kickboxing, I don't know, the thing is, I think it's still the audience. I think there are still people who watch, especially in Asia, kickboxing, Muay Thai as a separate from MMA are still big here. So I think it's just in the Western culture, it's just kind of lost a little bit of popularity as itself, but I think it's still there. There's still competitive athletes. There's still good fights that you can watch. And but I don't know. I think it's in the Western culture. It's just kind of the MMA took over now. I think still boxing is still there. It still holds its need because boxing is still way more money there. And but what happens in boxing right now as well? It's getting more and more rigged, more and more commercial, almost like getting close to the WE. But then we still have WBA, WBC, and other major organizations who host real fights, and we have there are still great boxers right now out there. But I don't know what to say exactly towards that. It's just, I guess MMA is the most hyped up right now. I'm just keep scrolling down, guys. What about your hairs? Did you color? Yes, I color. I'm not natural ginger. I'm an imposter. I'm from Barcelona, España. I don't know Spanish, but hi to Barcelona. where your knowledge is coming from, where all this knowledge coming from. Even Conor will get shy. Yeah, well, I guess that was funny. Years of experience and trying to literally update myself on the information and always keep learning. I literally, guys, you have to take it into consideration that I literally learned English to be able to do what I'm doing now. One of the main goals for learning English and one of the main motivations was to be able to look up for the direct information, because which is getting uploaded in English mainly. I'm fluent in Russian as well, so comparing to Georgian, the Russian sources has a better information, but I was always feeling that I were behind in time, behind when regarding the updated insights. She needs moderators. Well, Tyler, you know what? I'm gonna give you a try. I'm just gonna give you as a moderator, standard moderator. I'm gonna put you as a moderator. It's up to you. You can try to moderate, and yeah, just try it out. You're too professional. Did you do any military work? Well, that's a funny question. I never did military officially. Okay, so I've never been in the military, but in Georgia we have some sort of civilian type of military training, which is a course, 2 months course, and then you have like a 36 hours, sometimes longer, basically 1.5 day of the physical exam that been written by Georgian Special Forces. It was just basically taken from their 4 weeks and tapered down to the, simple 1.5 days. And yeah, I've been in that organization. It's a great people, great community, very strong, both men and women. Georgian men and women are quite resilient, and so we had a lot of girls there. And I failed that test 2 times because I wasn't ready physically, and I'm just that type of personality. If I'm not physically pulling it off, I don't want to be a burden to others. So I kind of, first time I quit soon, second time it was summer exam, because it's like a season of different seasons and you can try out yourself unlimited times before you pass. And I put a vow to myself and to others. I said, I'm going to keep doing that until I pass. So on the third attempt, I passed out on the sun because it was very hot. And I did like a full 12 hours. And then before the third time, I took an extra training. I started hiking a lot because it was not only physical training. A lot of strong people failed just because their type of training wasn't applying to that type of activity. So I started a lot of hiking. I spent some time in the mountains with no phone and stuff. I volunteered in the TCT program, which basically was, we were making a hiking trails, and that was like a perfect, you would just go wake up, you would do some morning stuff, go work, come back and just chill. So that's what we've been doing, and I started to wash, like showering and clean myself in the cold water, because that was literally in the edge of Caucasus Mountains, and that water was crystal cold and freezing. But when I came back, I didn't start showering in hot water. So like next 6 months, I've been doing cold showers, cold baths, strictly, no hot water at all. And in the November, that was the third attempt when I tried, and this is when it was worth it. It was worth to give up the first 2 times because I wasn't ready, and the third time I actually got extra. We had some special forces, Georgian special forces friends attending just as a guest, watching. It's like the same stuff. Our instructors trying to get your number off, break you mentally, make you give up and stuff like that. And I was not only able to push myself, but I was also able to push my team, because in the times we're put in the team, so it was a teamwork, extremely hard one, and we had to have a strategy and like keep it and like each other in check. And I got specific, because one of the rules was you can rely only on yourself, don't try to help others. That was kind of that rough, but it's up to you, at the end of the day. And yeah, I remember I received the message from a few people that I really, really have a huge respect to. They basically told me that I managed to break the code, but pass at the same time and do what actually it is all about, being able to have each other's backs and not leaving each other behind. Because some people did it, and I'm not saying that's because that course is individualized, you need to pass. So sometimes you cannot pull others as your burden, but I'm glad the way I managed to do it. And that was only after a proper physical preparation. The cold showering did its job too, because there was a last moment when we literally were in the river and it was freezing cold in November. And I was just chilling there and I was so happy because I put that, I didn't know that would be one of the parts of the training that would push us that far. But anyways, yeah, that's my military, and I had further down the line, I had some very interesting interactions with the people in the field. I really have a huge respect for the military people everywhere in the world. That is one of the hardest jobs, and it is great. And shout out to those people. Okay, I'll keep scrolling down, guys. It was quite a long response. So, where are you from? I'm from Georgia. You box? Yes, I do. How many tattoos do you have? Like 5 or 6? In my opinion, is the best fitness method, and when you're combined with the bodyweight CrossFit type workout, it becomes the best method. Yeah, one of the best. As I said, obviously you try to do resistance training, and you try to have a good cardiovascular endurance and stamina, and then you also try to do some skill set training. I think as long as you cover those 3, that can be considered as a good training. Okay, thank you, Tyler, for moderating. I can see you moderating now. Okay, keep scrolling. UKT says, hi UKT, just finished a 3-hour walk. I can admit my weight or my old weight is, I'm on no longer 20 stone, I'm 18.5 stone, and it's because I saw you and just listened, plus some folks in chat. So once again, thank you for the motivation. Much love to you and your partner. It's thanks so much. I appreciate it so much, like that kind of feedback. And I also appreciate that you mentioned chat, because that's what we try to do here. We try to make community working as well, and people in the chat helping each other as well. So I'm proud of you. Okay, I'm proud of you. I don't know you, but I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work and just keep doing what you're doing now. And please be part of community. Guys, if you want to be more into the join the community as its own, you can check out the Discord chat, and you can just start join the Discord. The link is in my YouTube bio, so feel free to join. There is a question: what type of training you do, weight or hybrid training? I would do hybrid. That's because I do boxing, I do strength training, I do resistance training, I do sprinting. Not so much now, but I stick to it and I'm gonna do it more. So yeah, it's the mix. And I do cardio. Where do you live? In Vietnam, Nha Trang currently. Are you an athlete? I think so, I guess so. I'm trying to be. So I'm all the way to the top now. Okay guys, but yeah, anyways, thank you for engaging. You're helping to grow my channel, by the way, so I really appreciate that. I'm gonna take my time and drink more of the coconut. You said sprinting, then tell what is the world record of 100 meters. So Usain Bolt holds, I think it was 9.40 something. I honestly don't remember. And the women is Flojo, which is 10.48, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 9.58. Thank you. 100 meters is something that I'm aiming for as well. I'm not necessarily interested to do like longer. I would do it as the part of the training for the 100 meters, but 60 meters and 100 meters are my like short sprint are my goal. So I'm aiming to run sub 12, which is a good. It's not exactly a competitive time, at least worldwide, but regionally it's a competitive time actually. The region where I'm from, and it's just good. I mean, if you're an athlete, any type of athlete, and you can run 100 meters sub 12 seconds, you're good. You're single? No, I'm married. What happens if you drink coconut? Well, coconut water is rich in potassium, so it's going to help you to keep your electrolyte balance in check, meaning that you're going to keep hydrated. Yes, that's good. Keep going, future champ. Thank you, Solo Leveling. I appreciate your encouragement. You know, what I truly believe is, before I was, when I was doing boxing, amateur boxing, it was all about this, anxiety. Even when at the training days, anxiety of the competition, or like stepping on the ring, doing like a real fight. And that was just pulling me back and didn't really help me at all. Now I just understand that the principle of being always ready, train the way that you're always ready. So train smart and hard at the same time. So meaning that smart training is knowing when to train hard, when to recover, and when to do more of the technical work. And as long as you get there, if I start running 100 meters in sub 12 seconds consistently, and I just train that for myself because I actually enjoy it, and I think it has a lot of health benefits as well long term, why wouldn't I try competing if I do that consistently? Because I put the work in it. Same with boxing. If I build up the good sparring tactic, good form, good skill set, and actually being able to hold a good sparring, stamina, all of that needs to be linked, why wouldn't I compete? At least try, let's just have fun. That's a new type of fun. Let's just train and try to challenge ourselves in different things. Let's just have fun. Hello, cool girl. I'm South Korean. Hi to South Korea. Are you looking for fight professional full time? I guess I just responded to it. That's not my main goal. I would do that, but more long-term plan is to build up the community, build up my YouTube, keep maybe open, like hopefully one day be able to open a gym where people are gonna be welcome, and it's gonna be professional coaches there, and I would be able to put my contribute myself to put my contribution in the work and help to raise others, not only champions but just decent people who have teach them that skill set. So my vision is way more long term. I want to expand. I want that community to grow. So the fighting part is just challenging myself and would be just part of my journey. Can you run with a sleep disc? That's a good question. Well, that's a good question. I cannot tell you exactly in your case how it's possible. Generally, like hitting and vertical load, hitting movements like jumping and those kind of things, you need to be very careful with it. I believe that you can build up those things gradually, but it needs to be observed by a professional coach, also observed by your healthcare provider. So it needs to be careful. It also depends what is your exact diagnosis, what is your individual case. I cannot give you exact response. I can tell you that it is not a good idea to go just fall in with the slip disc. Okay? You do a check hook, you like this. You can do both ways. I like hooks, like literally the ones to just hook the body and the head. Did you have run on the ring? Says, yeah, I had run. I had fights on the ring. It's just I haven't sparred and didn't have any ring. I haven't stepped on the ring, I think, for around 2 years now. So that's something I will need to build back up. And trust me, I'm very excited to show you that part of the preparation, because that is more of a lot of mental part of it. And I want to show that I want to be as calm and enjoying the process as much as possible. I don't want to be that old Diana who was anxious and pressured all the time for no reason. So I will definitely show you my sparring preparation experience and training, and just gradually how I'm going to get there. And then my first step would be Georgian Nationals. So yeah, I would see how I can do that. Okay, that's nice, and better actually, less brain damage and probably more money and longevity. Yes, and also when it comes to sparring, a lot of my friends who are MMA fighters and boxers and some of the other professional fighters, I heard saying that they stopped having sparrings almost at all. So the more professional you become, the less of the heavy sparring you need, because you already know how to fight. And your training is built around that. You're already in the fighting mentality. When you do pads, you're not just doing pads. You're like, you focus on it. When you do skill set sparring, like, technique sparring, you do the same. Heavy sparrings are not good for long term. It's actually quite damaging. The more heavy sparring you do, imagine you just wear yourself out and you don't. Over time, you're not able to do you're not able to release your full potential on the competition where you're actually supposed to do it. What's your personal best in deadlift? It's been a very long time ago. I stopped doing heavy deadlifts, but I think I was 18 or 19, and I used to do it for that time. Let me remember, I think it was 100 kgs, my personal bests. Not crazy, but yeah, that's what it is. And also, I was more bulked at that time. Yeah, I'm still working on footwork for that. Just keep working, keep doing it. You'll get there. They say a lot of people careers and in the gym from sparring to hard, taking damage, and then they go to fight with the light gloves. It's very bad for health long term. Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely correct. What can we say? From Indonesia. Hi. If you dead hang, how long can you go for? I can hang from a bar for a minute. I think I did a minute. Once I tried it, but because I can do pull-ups, my grip is strong enough to be able to hold for definitely some time. And I think last time I did it was around a minute too. People writing paragraphs is crazy. Well, we're trying to have a interesting conversation here. And also people are, guys, feel free to share your stories, your experiences. I'm absolutely willing to read them. Sometimes it's hard to catch all of them, all the messages, but I'm trying my best to, actually it's easier when I see a longer message, it kind of catches my eye and I stop by and I'm willing to read it out. Do you know Tracy Cortez, UFC female fighter? My coworker is her brother. I heard about her, but the reason I say I heard because I don't think I watched her any single fight of hers. Yeah, I don't I don't know every single UFC fighter, especially the upcoming ones, but I'll definitely look into it. What is the live stream even about? Today it's just Q&A, questions and answers, and I guess we're just having conversation. So feel free to join. Yo, shout out from Australia. Hi, Aussies, and other people. So people from Texas and Australians are the people that I've never met someone, I don't want to say bad, but we always met the cool people from there. It's our personal experience, me and my husband's experience. So I guess that's cool. Hello. Yeah, thank you, Tyler, for moderating. I read the one, and yeah, we're not saying nasty stuff here. Feel free to have jokes. Trolling is fine too, all good, but up until a certain limit. I'm 29 years old, want to start training, not for competition, just to learn defending myself. Is it too late? By the way, from France, thank you. Hi, France. No, absolutely, it's not late, especially if you want to build up a solid skill set. Just go for it. Just start doing it. My husband, I started teaching him actually quite recently, properly. So it's been maybe 4 months now, and he's 43 years old. And in those 4 months, he actually has significant progress. Tyler says he's moderator in this stream now. No bad stuff. Hear it out. Giro, you know Tony Ferguson. Yeah, everyone knows Tony Ferguson. It's a little bit, he's one of the fighters who's been being forever, and I think he should, for his own health, it would be good if he retired and just, because now he has a streak of some losses, and it's not exactly good than it was at his prime. So yeah, I think he's one of the one of those fighters who stick very long to their craft. I'm a boxer primarily. I like martial arts, and I train with people who do martial arts on occasion, but I do boxing mostly. Does Khabib do combat sports also? He started doing it now. He's learning that for himself to be able to get, and he's one of those people who does, if you want something, he's gonna get it to the high level. And he's been in extreme sports for 10 years, so in his late 20s, at the time when he was quite overweight, and he was, I think he was in the UK at that time, and it was just a regular life, partying and stuff like that. He saw that Wingsuit video where they were flying, and he literally just looked at it and he showed his friends and he said, I'm gonna do this. And they laughed at him. But then he just, took all his money, financed himself, because he managed to make some money in previous years. Literally traveled with a car and did skydiving first, got to up to 2,000 skydives, then started doing the Wingsuit. So gradually built that up, and he became one of the best ones in the field at the time. In the community especially, he was not one of the reasons he actually survived in that sport, because it's a very deadly sport. He's been advised not to do it for fame, but actually do it for its own, for the process. He says it's one of the most extraordinary things it's like a flow state on its own, and it's a meditation state while you're flying. And then when you release the parachute, this is when the adrenaline kicks in. So, and he really wants to teach me to do skydiving, and well, at some point we're definitely gonna get there, and there's gonna be more exciting content, I guess, you know, like when we do that, because I'm absolutely looking forward to do those things. They're safer things. They're like a safer side of it. You know, skydiving on itself, the reason why it became so popular and people do tandem, so because the system works that it's, if you check the statistics, there are like maybe a few deaths in the million skydivers. So it's like a fraction of the fraction of the fraction percent. So it's considered to be very safe. But what my husband used to do, he was doing the extreme hardcore stuff, and he got the crash, and yes, then he had to recover and basically survive, and that's the period after that when we met. But anyway, so the reason why I talked more about this topic, because I think that's an interesting story, and yeah, that's what he's been doing, and this is his mentality basically. If he sees something, he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and he says, if he says I'm gonna do this, he means that. So now he's very much into martial arts. He likes kickboxing, so he's working on the low kicks and the body kicks, and we already built up quite a good striking. He's still gradually getting there. He's not as relaxed as he should be, but for the 4 months work, it's quite a good development. I'm from Las Vegas, and I'm an amateur class in extreme culture. Have you ever heard of the gym? That gym, like it was the name of the gym? No, I don't think so. Are you a black belt in specific fighting style? No, I'm doing boxing. I've been competitive. I've been a national champion in around 7-8 years ago in the amateur boxing in the junior years. But in boxing we don't have belts, so yeah, I don't have any belts. Are you so beautiful? Are you not scared of getting punched in the face? Not really. But boxing style, the way, so I'm not doing only just box, like, you know, throwing punches, you know, you use your hands as the shield, basically, like, you know, there are like many ways how you can specialize into getting those punches literally in your gloves, blocking them, wearing out your opponent, so you don't really get hit that much in the face. Obviously, you do the weaves and the rolls and the sleeps and all of that stuff. So I believe that even if you want to be offensive boxer, building a solid, strong defensive style is a very good thing for long term, both for the success in the boxing on the ring, but also like for longevity. Like, look at the Mayweather. He's like, because he moved to the defensive style, he's like barely been hit in his face. If we put it in like a boxing numbers, he's doing well. He's like a 50 years old. No, he's more than 50 years old now, and he's doing great. You're talking about, you remember his deadlift crazy first when he bleeding and also smiling. Yeah, the whole, and have you seen the interview after when he said how he managed to lift that weight? So he basically, he saw this video of a woman literally flipping off the car after a car accident to save her kids, because this adrenaline, like, you know, saving your kids, adrenaline kicks in, fight and flight response kicks in. The dude learned how to trigger it by himself, just thinking, imagining those, like that's the way that their kids are, their kids' lives are under stake, and this is how he weights that, because like the healthcare physicians were telling him that it's impossible weights to lift, and he tricked his brain to do a fight, to enter the fight and flight response. How crazy is that? Hello from the UK. Hi to the UK. We have famous spots nearby when people die often in skydiving. Where is it? What place is it? As I said, you can look up the numbers. It's not. I'm not talking out of my ass. Just generally, you can look it up, and like in average, it's very low numbers. But I believe there also, it depends which country you do. Like USA, Dubai, there are certain countries that are like extremely proficient in it. So the safest places that you can do that. But there are countries that might not have the best setup and have probably better, the higher numbers of the fatalities, which is obviously, yeah, you shouldn't do. You should look it up. If you're gonna try to do skydiving, don't go to certain places, okay? Don't do it in a certain skydiving basis. Skydiving, the adrenaline must be incredible high, especially for the first time. Well, as my husband says, when you are wingsuit flying or when you're jumping, it's not really that much of adrenaline. You kind of just like relax, and in the beginning, then you, like before jumping, you haven't like the anxiety, like the adrenaline rush. Then you jump, you completely relax, your body releases endorphins, dopamine, like serotonin, everything to just make you suss you out. But then when you open up the parachute, this is another wave when you start feeling an adrenaline hit. That's crazy. Cool. I just peeked at your channel and you train. Glad to I subscribed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, never mind. Don't tell me what you have tattooed on your arm. That's what you want to see. You said what's in your hand, and I didn't like. I thought what he's talking about. So that's a dragon. That's the girl's face, and it's a katana because my tattoo master thought it would look cool. But it's like a warrior type of warrior mentality tattoo. How much do you weigh then? 54/55 kgs. Dustin versus Max, who would you pick? I mean, both are great, but Dustin already won twice, right? So I guess Dustin. Dustin has psychological advantage, but you never know. It depends. Maybe Max gonna pull that one. Will Conor be a part of the White House UFC event against Chandler? What do you think? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm also redhead. Good for you. Yeah, I'm trying to learn Dustin styles, a mix of Wing Chun and Philly Shell. Yeah, that sounds like a good mix. Great job. Thank you for the answer. Can you please tell us if you have a roadmap of beginners? Like, how did you train your husband? What's the program? Basically, just starting. We started from pad work. He's a little bit special case. His personality is quite rapid, so we did a little bit unconventional sequence. But usually, what you would want, you would start in front of the mirror. You would learn, jabs and crosses, and then jab, cross, and the body movement, how you move your feet, how you move your hips, and how you move your shoulders, and how you do that together. This is what I literally spent hours and hours and hours doing that, and even after, I still do it. Even professional boxers, they still do that just to, polish certain things that needs to be taken care of, in the technique. And then when you learned a little bit of the hip movement, and at least you have you don't feel that awkward anymore, even without the footwork, just the movement on the same spot. You can try to do pad work, and it's good if someone professional holds for you pad work, because they actually, through the pad work, they can teach you a little bit more as well. fairly soon. And or if you're alone and you have punching bag available, you can do some punching bag training. So basically just train jab, cross, separate, jab, cross, just work on that first. Obviously the next steps would be same body movement, but throwing different punches like hooks and uppercuts. Once you learn that, I'm talking very gradual, obviously you can mix it up and kind of, okay, once you understand how hips move, you can try to practice all of the punches and then start moving to the footwork, just steps, moving forward, moving backwards. So using same in front of mirror, 1, 2, 3, for example, together with the full footwork, then 1, 2, 3, backwards as well. I can make like the whole entire stream for the beginner blueprints for boxers how to build that up actually if you want to. So yeah, I think that could be a good topic for a live stream. Okay, keep scrolling down. Fun fact, it's more dangerous and chance of dying in a car crash than flying off the plane or skydiving. Yeah, that's true. Was not disagree with your skydiving stuff. We just always skydiving sport. It's in California. Okay, California. My husband used to work in the seasonally in the past years there. I'm not sure if that was the specific skydiving center, but that was definitely in California. And yeah, well, years that he spent there in the seasonally, like in the summertime, I don't think there was any fatalities with the skydiving. What he was doing proximity wingsuit flying or base jumping, so literal jumping with the wingsuit from the mountain and then opening up the parachute. Well, there, as he says, he lost around 30 of his friends. And you're just getting so hooked on that sport and he wants to just keep doing it that, it's just, you just ignore, like it becomes like a normal. Dying, like anyone can die. They even do bets on, who's gonna die next and like, depending on how extreme they go. Though, again, all of those things I know from my husband. The reason why he survived, essentially, yes, he had a crash, but he survived many other situations and he's been quite consistent. He's been doing, for years, he's doing that daily, basically. There is such a company called Phoenix Fly, who make the wingsuit costumes, and they're also a community of the base jumpers who are trying to promote actually the healthy way how to do it, meaning basically not dying, not doing extremely stupid stuff, not doing it for not doing extremely dangerous stuff just for the fame and for the views. And once Chris just messaged one of their owner, the one who founded the company, and the guy literally took 2 hours of his time and he sent him the messages, the guidance is like, don't surround yourself with the wrong people. Avoid doing like crazy stuff, always have the reality check. Don't do that for fame, don't get hooked on that. Do it for the sake of doing it. And Chris really acted on those advices. And I think the one of the reasons why he's alive today is because he listened to that man. So yeah, but it's the base jumping is a very extremely dangerous and deadly sport. Wait, you have a man? Yes, I have a husband. He's just asleep now. Usually he's in the chat, interacting and moderating at the same time, but I guess he's just asleep. Hi, from New Zealand. Hi, New Zealand. One of the places I really want to visit one day. The dragon is sleeping. No, it's just, it's like a silhouette. Do you agree GSP is the best all-around fighter of ever grace the to the UFC. GSP is one of my favorite fighters, and I believe absolutely that he's one of the best. Though if you look at his record, he doesn't have the biggest record. I think he has 28 fights and 2 losses, and he rematched and gained the titles back, and he won. Basically, he beat everyone, even after the loss on the rematch. He beat everyone. He also had a big gap, like 4 years between 2013 and 2017. He just came back and had a fight in the middleweight with Bisping, Michael Bisping, and he won that fight. That was his last fight. So if you talk about volume-wise, maybe there are fighters who have a bigger volumes, of fighters and bigger portfolios. But I think he's one of the best, well-rounded, and one of the best, definitely legend fighters of the mixed martial arts. Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Yeah, I know those fights, but I think I loved Nick Diaz versus McGregor more. Sorry, not Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz was fighting McGregor. I suck at shadow boxing with the back. I'm good, but I need to try to learn maybe with resistance bands. Well, what do you mean you suck? Do you have like your legs are crossing? You have a problem? Oh, you just slow it down. You can do it slower and basically recreate the movement that you're doing on the boxing bag. Okay, and make sure your footwork, your stance is not breaking. For that, you can use a resistance band on your feet if you want. I have a video on that too. There, like I showed some footwork drills in one of my quite recent videos. You can look it up if you want. Thank you so much for answering. We would love to see video blueprint for the beginners. Okay, I'm absolutely going to make an entire live stream on it. I'll announce it in advance so you can, check it up and be ready. Know when it's going to come up. What are your top 3 favorite fighters? UFC probably. That's like MMA fighters. Well, like UFC specifically, Ilia and Merab, that's one reason because they're Georgians, another reason because they're very consistent and they're actually doing great. Or GSP for sure from the old ones. I don't have top 3, like I can't tell you that exactly. I like Alex Pereira, Adesanya, I like Dricus du Plessis, Pantoja is great. Women like Amanda, Valentina, Rose Namajunas, and like Kyla. There are also other ones like they're the ones like legendary. I really do love. Okay, let's talk about older ones. Bas Rutten, Don Fry. What was the Japanese name? Sakuraba, the who fought like not entire, but like Gracie family members. Sakuraba, and yes, it was old school. It was a little bit different, maybe not that advanced, but it was so entertaining and interesting to watch. It was a whole other era. So yeah, there are some fighters from the older era too. I'm very bad at responding questions like that when it comes to like top 3 or top 5 of this and that. It's so diverse, man. It's you gotta embrace all of it. You must drive motorcycle too. I used to actually, not a big cylinder. It was around 125 cc, but it was like good looking motorcycle, street type of looking, and. But I really wanted to get the cruiser bike because I don't like speed necessarily. I just like traveling. Like one of my dreams is to do a motorcycling, like traveling a tour. But honestly, when my husband was like, okay, if you're gonna get back to the motorcycling, I'm gonna get back to the base jumping and do the crazy stuff. So, but if we're being realistic, unfortunately, it's very risky. I think it's funny. I would love to do like more like a enduro. We're gonna actually go to Kuwait and do motocross, motorcycling with our friend who is a Red Bull athlete in the motocross, and yeah, like in that field. And though, like, and even sports bike controlled with with equipment on the track also is safer than doing it on the streets. But on the streets, let's be honest, it's out of your control. Some idiot just might come up, or you make some mistake, and it just ends bad. Even here in Vietnam, they drive scooters and motorcycles, like almost pretty much everyone. And we use the Uber service, Grab service here, because we thought to get some scooters or motorcycles, like to drive like everyone else. But then literally we saw some crashes like right on the street. Then one of my acquaintances had a very bad crash. He was trying to going for the visa run, and that happened in the middle of nowhere. His leg like literally broken in like many pieces in many places. And we just were like, okay, I'm training, I'm trying to build up my boxing presence through the YouTube. And there is like one flip and you're done, you know, like one of the serious, at the worst case you die, in the slightly better case you break something majorly, so you need the years to recover. Doesn't make sense anymore to me. Clarissa Shields, Gabby van Dora, and Katie Taylor, obviously. There is another British boxer, Chantal Carmen, I think her surname, I'm not exactly sure, but I watched her fight recently, actually, and she was impressive. I liked her boxing style and her ring presence. Yeah, female boxing is also getting better. I wish women stop getting I think women just rush too much. If you compare men's boxing and women's boxing, women, I know there's time difference between rounds and like it's 2 minutes versus 3 minutes in the women's boxing, but I would love to do it more paced, so you avoid just all those clinches and headbutts pretty much all the time, you know? Do more like technical, you know, just getting there, you know, get the points, then get the, you know, clean offense. And backlight, there was connection issue for a second. But anyways, I think that female boxing, women's boxing are evolving very rapidly, but that's one thing I wish to see more and more now, to have a better distance control. Katie is good at it, for example. She's very good at defensive boxing. Has a good control. But as I said, when it's like coming the dirty fence, you still get absorbed in it. Like with her fight with Amanda Serrano, it was like first fight, I would give it to Katie. Second fight, I would give it to Serrano, and that would make sense actually more to make it a good trilogy. So the last one she won clearly. She actually adjusted and learned how to, you know, do a clean defensive footwork with her. But yeah, that's my little feedback, my opinion regarding women's boxing. All of those women would beat the shit out of me at this moment. Like, yeah, absolutely. Words of advice, so of encouragement for women wanting to, I don't know what is Lee. But yeah, anyways, for women, I just encourage to do martial arts. Absolutely, train, do resistance training, martial arts, increase your relative strengths. We'll start learning doing pull-ups. Just get stronger. You know, it's just good for you. It makes you healthier. It makes you more self-centered, more calmer. And women, our biochemistry, our biology is like the hormonal roller coaster on its own. So training and good solid training actually helps to balance it out and be in control of your own self and your own emotions. So I really encourage women to pursue training. Greetings from Peru. Hi. That was wild. He filled in for the fight with McGregor. Yes. Who do you think? The top 10 fighters. Who you think is about GSP in the terms of resilience and performance, and as an all-rounded fighter with better records, especially with the top 10 fighters? Explain. Well, I think new generations, like some of the new generation of UFC, like currently the ones are the ones that I think Islam Makhachev can be there. Like, his record is, and he's not even retired yet, and he's been consistent. And well, we'll see if he's going to be able to become a two-weight champion as well. And well, I think Ilia Topuria is definitely aiming for doing that. Well, let's not take away from Jon Jones what he's been doing. The problem with Jon Jones is that he focused to be undefeated so much that his last few years of his fights been once in a year or once in 3 years, and very picking certain opponents that he knew he could win over. But the prime Jones, he was a beast. Like his first, I guess, 7-10 defenses, title defenses, and both in the heavyweight and the light heavyweight, and yeah, Jon Jones, absolutely. And Daniel Cormier is one of the, I wouldn't put it him necessarily about GSP, but just one of the fighters there, crazy. And he's I don't know. When I talk about DC, I always remember that song, this remake of the Bada Bass, when he sings about I don't know if you've seen that, but I cannot unsee that video anymore. Every time I talk, remember the DC, that's what that comes to my mind. But that man is Olympic champion in was it wrestling? I think, yeah, that was a wrestling, and UFC champion. So the Jones was the one who kind of broke his streak. Hi from Scotland. Oh. Yeah, keep scrolling down. I'm professional boxing from Philippines. That's great. We need more. Guys, if you're doing professional martial arts and boxing here, just feel free to share your insights and tips, not only with me, but with other people in the chat. What about Khamzat Chimaev? Khamzat is the beast, absolutely. We'll see. I'm really looking forward to see their fight between Dricus and Khamzat. Why you don't like Khabib and Islam style of fighting? They are very technical, and they didn't lose at all in UFC, except Islam one time at the beginning of his career. I just mentioned Islam, that he is the close one. And Khabib, yes, I should mention Khabib. I just think Khabib retired a little bit early. I think he could do it a little bit longer. But Khabib's goal was a little bit like my goal. As I said, I would do fighting, but my long-term goal is to build that great community and produce other fighters, just welcome people into that lifestyle. So I think that was Khabib's goal from the very beginning. He just wanted to build his legacy, and he just retired the day after Conor. That was like a star fight. Not Conor. What was his last fight? I forgot what was his last fight before he retired. But anyways, he retired quite early, and essentially he started creating the Nurmagomedov clan, and just basically raising up Dagestani fighters. And I think he's doing that quite successfully. The only negative side to it is I think Islam is exception, but everyone else, it's just they're kind of hyping up about that they're coming from the Dagestan, and they're coming from Nurmagomedov family, meaning that they're automatically the best out of best. And there is that's what happened to Umar Nurmagomedov versus Merab. He was for whatever reason, he was too arrogant and too, he thought too much of himself, because I think he was, went under the influence of the too much hype about his persona, about where he comes from, that he's like Nurmagomedov. But essentially, yeah, you saw the difference between Merab and the Khabib, and it's not even technical necessarily. I believe that Omar might be better in like technical aspects, just as skill and the beauty of the technique in some ways than Merab. I don't say that, and I don't neglect that, but fighting is not only beautiful technique. I can do beautiful technique, I can just do beautiful technique, and but it doesn't make me a fighter. What makes you fighter is your stamina. That's the first thing, like as a physical representation of your willpower. You cannot have a willpower without the stamina. Then obviously your fighter's mentality, then your adaptability to the fight, then the ability to hold the pressure. This is what makes you fighter. And you saw that Umar wasn't exactly ready for the championship fight against Merab. So that's the only thing that is the con of creating a clan, and creating a clan basically. Same was for the Gracie families. I think that was the same case. They were like there was quite a lot of hype there. I'm not saying it wasn't their fight wasn't deserved, but I think there was a lot of hype there too. Okay, I'm keep scrolling down. Good afternoon, madam. Thank you. With your accent, it's generic English, I guess. I'm from Georgia, so it's not exactly Georgian accent either. Okay, and keep scrolling down. No, you don't want to watch boxing. Women's mixed martial arts is league is about. If we compare, actually, if we compare MMA versus boxing, I think women's MMA became way more watchable than women's boxing. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I agree with you already. You also like here in Asia, like you need to watch, like if you watch some Muay Thai, kickboxing fights, they're strong, they're solid, and MMA as well. Also, if you watch some one championship fights, I watch one championship more as the highlights, just to see. But like I'm really willing to delve more into it, because one championship is, I think their doping control is not as strict. But apart from that, their fights are very entertaining, both men and women. Russian? No, I'm Georgian. Are you amateur, pro? Amateur at the moment. Okay, keep scrolling down, guys. Ilia with GSP high, you're kidding me. How many times Ilia defended his title against top 5? You're partial, be truthful. I didn't say Ilia to the level of GSP legacy-wise. I said Ilia is aiming there. That's what I said. And Islam, I think, has a higher record. He's already close to be there. Also, don't forget, if you compare, GSP had, I think, 2004 till 2013. That was his active career. And that was his 27 fights, right? So you're right, Ilia is not there at all. And obviously he had like many, I think he has the second after Georgios, he had like a 12 or 13 title defenses. Mostly he did welterweight, but then he had the gap and then just come back once for the fight for the middleweight with Bisping, and then he retired completely, right? So those, I believe at those times, maybe many criticized him, like he's like, despite loving him and stuff. But that's the thing, when you get to a certain level, you're gonna get more promoted. You're gonna be able, to do different things. I agree with generally with defending titles. So But that's also inevitable. So yes, maybe Ilia moved up to directly to the lightweight because that was his goal straight away from the beginning, and we'll see in the lightweight if he's gonna keep defending the titles, if he's gonna stick around there. I would love to do. Yeah, I would. I agree. I would. That would be better because you build a certain legacy. You also prove that you're not just one-time champ. You're literally, holding the title for longer. I would also. I don't see. I think it's quite a big difference between lightweight and the welterweight. Like literally, I think it's 20 or 25 pounds. So I don't think Ilia might be strong to still knock out people, just speaking of the power, but the size difference too big, the pressure gonna be also towards him way too high. So as I said, let's see what's gonna happen and what's gonna be the next Ilia's fight. Also, he wants to fight Makhachev, so I guess that's. But I think that fight not gonna happen straight away. I think it's gonna happen till. Yeah, it's not gonna happen until there's gonna be some other fights for both. Prime opponents were 10 years older than he was, but yeah, he was in his 20s, so meaning that his opponents were maybe in his 30s, which is not an old age necessarily. So that also means that I had 10 years experience ahead of him. Jones was just a freak. He just stepped in, was he 19 or 21 years old? He just started doing it. And I think the guy has, what you can take away from Jones, he has extremely good fighting IQ. That's what you can take away from him, okay? Can you wear mouse guard over braces? Yes, you can. John Jones is the beast. You are his fan. No discussion. I like John Jones, especially in the beginning of years of his career as a fighter. Absolutely. I don't think I'm a fan of anyone. Don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, I really respect all the fighters, and I look up to many of them, and I would love to meet some of them. But I don't think I'm a fan. I don't have a poster in my bedroom of those fighters. I'm not literally stalking everything they do or following everything they do in their social medias or anything like that. So I don't think I'm that much of the fan of anyone. Though I have their figures in mixed martial arts, in both boxing, mixed martial arts, that I definitely am fascinated of, and I'm looking up to them and trying to learn some things for myself as well. Spider Silva. La Lianda. I'm glad he changed. That was a little bit cringe. I mean, as I said, Topuria is Georgian. Huge respect to him, but I know what he did. He actually put UFC champion way before he was a champion. So I understand that's his tactic. He aims, he predicts, and he basically says whenever he's gonna knock out or submit someone, and he just acts on it. I understand his tactic, but it was cringe. Saying that you're a legend and self-proclaiming that you're a legend before others proclaim you're a legend. I think it's way too much, and he changed back to the El Matador. So I think he kind of felt it himself. So yeah, I like El Matador better than his last nickname that he used. fighters should fight. Taking and wasting time is ignoring. Yeah, fighters should be consistent. I agree. But if you look at the UFC, like, yes, there's some for like fights 3-4 times a year, maybe even more, which might not be the best thing for health. But consistently, I think a couple times a year is an okay, good for consistency, and both being able to prepare, recover, be live your life at the same time. So yeah, we cannot necessarily push, ask people to fight like every month. That's not the thing. It used to be a case before, I guess, but the science also changes, and the approaches change, and the timing is changing. Though I agree, yeah, you shouldn't hold for your title and literally refuse fight the interim champion, and essentially retire anyways. That was a little bit awkward too. Like if it was, unless that was a plan, and one day he's like, okay, I'm coming back and that fight gonna happen. Maybe that was for hype, but otherwise, I think he should have retired before. But all I'm saying is my opinion, okay? So it's just my opinion. You're free to agree or disagree with it. Apparently, Umar had a broken hand. I understand. Shit happens during the fight. He didn't have it before, unlike Merab, who had the infected shin before the fight. Okay, that happened, and I understand that kind of decreases your efficiency during the fight. But also you have to remember, even if it's broken, it's still when you have you're in an adrenaline state, and high cortisol and endorphin is releasing you throughout the combination of those chemicals. You're not really also focusing that much on it, so the really effect of the broken head gonna release more like afterwards than during the fight when it just happened. And it's not about that he got the injury, it's fine, but the way that he still decided not to give a credit and not to be decent and just tell that, okay, you know what, Merab was better. No matter, just no excuses. No, he just decided to say, oh, I think I won this fight. I will rewatch it. And then he's like, oh, I broke my hand. Maybe that wasn't good. That's why. So he talked about those things. I mean, that really made me lose respect towards him. I think he's just arrogant, and he doesn't know how to lose. I think what makes a good champion, one of the things is that how you take your loss. Literally. I was watching I was rewatching the Eddie Alvarez and Dustin fight, and literally, the Alvarez hit him with illegal knees twice, and he won. And but that was rewatch, and Eddie directly apologized to him. He was like, I thought you were playing or something, but this now I see it was illegal. It's completely on me, this and that. And people started booing, and then Dustin was like, he's a champ. Don't fucking boo this guy. He's the beast. He gave him the credit immediately, even though he lost that fight. And even though he lost it with there was a legal knee aspect to it. But both fighters gave a credit to each other. So you gotta know how to lose. You gotta be at your, at the decent. You gotta be decent even when you lose. Merab broke Umar sent with his face. Yes, I love that comment. That was quite a big one. Keep scrolling it down, guys. It's lovely to talk to you about all those topics, and imagine not being a heavyweight this man. I don't know. You should be. I guess it's one thing you can't control. You're right, but no one cares about these talks. You know it. We are all here because you're beautiful. Thank you. I guess the lighting and the good setup works. Guys, I understand that. Okay, I know way more better looking women than I am. So I would put myself, let's say, pleasant looking. I completely understand that I'm on the pleasant looking side and that plays its role. But trust me, the things I'm talking about, the way I'm talking about, makes it even more appealing. I believe that if you talk with a certain manner, with a certain tone, certain speed, and the certain things you're talking about, can make you even more attractive than you are physically. So you might just keep just looking at me, fine, up to you, but it is low-key affecting you what I'm talking about here. And guys, and some people are engaging in the discussion, so we're having a conversation here. Lightweight 155 and welterweight 75. Yeah, so basically it's like 15, sorry. It was not 20, 15 pounds. Still a difference. Nice to meet you in Indonesia. Hi, Indonesia. You're from Israel? No, I'm from Georgia. GDM will show Islam what fighting look like. That's gonna be an interesting fight. I mean, don't underestimate either of them. I think GDM is a hell of a lot, like great striker, and Islam is well-rounded fighter, and we'll see. Just looking forward to see that fight. What's your channel about? It's about my training diaries. It's called Redhead Diaries. You can look it up. It started from sprinting. Then I moved a little bit more to boxing. I do both because both directions are complementary to each other. And but I also started streaming recently and then having conversations more about both training, but also just some mental health and mental health and training and sports. Today it's just a Q&A, so I'm trying to mix the training part and the physical preparation content with just things I do. You can even see there are some karaoke nights that I'm hosting here, so that's one of my hobbies. I love singing and I'm trying to get better at it too. So yeah, I've been live streaming karaoke nights as well, and I have some singing some covers, and I even have one of my Georgian songs that I wrote myself. It's in a separate playlist. You can look it up if you want. So yeah, it's just a little bit of mix, but still more about training and about different sports. I think that what makes Khabib the GOAT for me is everyone knew his game plan, but no one could deal with it. Yes, reminds me of Joyce, Royce Gracie with Jiu-Jitsu. Learning sambo wrestling could be a game changer. Yeah, you also like like Khabib was very good dealing with the pressure and applying that pressure. And you're right, I think it's a very good point. Fighters like that might be boring, like as a lot of people call them, but to me, when you look that, it's just impossible to deal with them, no matter what you try, unless you have the same capability to hold that pressure, to just be able to do the same that what they are doing. You just lose from the very beginning. And yeah, I mean, to me, as I said, I think Khabib's goal was to build that legacy and start producing Dagestani fighters. Tyler, one more time, thank you for moderating the chat. Ilia versus Gagey will be a tough fight for Ilia because of leg kicks. Gagey might put Ilia out too. I would watch this fight absolutely. Yeah, no, Justin is a strong fighter, and I don't think he's that famous, but his record is impressive, and he's quite a well-rounded fighter to me. Yeah, exactly. Gagey hit like shot, and also his kicks are brutal. I agree. And people sometimes underestimate low kicks and like leg kicks. It's if you're hard if you have hard low kicks and like you just apply them consistently, that just breaks your stance. Like, and well, Ilia, who is technically well, he's a well-rounded fighter, but he's now pushing, he's dominating through boxing now. That could be a problem, unless I've seen Ilia doing the low kicks and throwing different kicks himself as well. And I think what Ilia has, and he said it himself, he prepares before his opponents. Once he knows who is his opponent, he's rewatching all their fights, his team, they're analyzing and finding the gaps. So we need to consider the preparational period and the game plan before the fight happens. I think Ilia's team is very, very good at it. And I think Gagey's team also have to be very considerate of it. They will need to find the ways how to break Ilia's, which is one of the things, is definitely those damaging, very strong low kicks. Yes, your teeth must hurt. No, they're not. They're fine. I'm already used to it. Arman Turkian, what do you think about him? He's a good fighter, no doubt. But after he literally ducked Islam, saying that he had a back injury, but literally he didn't make a weight, and Dana didn't say anything about back injury. He said he just didn't make a weight. That's a little bit, did he duck him, or was he irresponsible enough to, just lose that chance of the title shot? I don't know. Neither of those scenarios sound good to me. So that says a little bit about his personality. He also been saying some shit about, I think both Islam and Ilia and some other fighters, like when they are, I didn't agree personal with those things. So I don't know. I don't necessarily like his personality, but he's a tough fighter, and I think, for example, Islam and Arman would be interesting, and Ilia versus Arman also would be interesting. As I said, we'll see what's going to be now, who's going to be a contender now, because I don't believe they're going to let Ilia just jump from the weight class to the weight class now unless he defends lightweight title now. So we're going to see quite an interesting fights coming. How old are you? How do you speak good English like a native speaker if you're from Georgia? Well, I'll tell you even more. That's my third language, and I learned it in 2020. So I took a 3 months period. It's a pandemic. Nothing is happening. I literally asked myself what would be the one of the biggest time investments in my life that would open doors for me, would help me to become a better at my job, at my career. And essentially the answer was learning English. So I just started learning advanced vocabulary. I had a notebook with advanced vocabulary. So those are my two first words. It's freezing a little bit. What's wrong with the thing? Okay. No, it seems okay. Anyway, and a lot of listening, some traveling videos. I was watching it nonstop, 5, 6, 7 hours per day. And then I got the job in the studio where there were a lot of expats and foreigners. That's where I had a chance to practice my English. Then I made a lot of English-speaking friends, and then I met my husband. So English became like a primary language for me. And I think there is some changes. I think my Russian started getting worse, even though that's my first language. Even before Georgian, I learned, I started speaking Russian. But my Russian is suffering now. My Georgian is okay. I still have quite a lot of communication in Georgian, and I don't know, somehow it's not getting affected. But the more my English gets fluent, the more my Russian is getting messed up a little bit. Not like I forget words or anything like that, but the way of thinking, how I think, changed. Just checked your channel, Mike says. Your striking is good. Do you compete? I don't compete at the moment, but I'm looking forward to do some, get back to the amateur boxing. I've been doing it years ago, but now I want to get back to it. Thank you, though. Do you think Kyle Harrison is on steroids? I think a lot of MMA/UFC fighters are doing cycling on and off because they have the tests, and they need to be careful with, like, they cannot be constantly on the gear, but I believe that most of them do that. I cannot tell you exactly who's doing it 100%, who is not doing it 100%, but they have to, that's kind of like a gray area of the sport. Hello from Korea. Hi, Korea. Everyone is entitled to an opinion, pretty lady. Thank you. And yeah, I agree. Everyone is entitled for an opinion. But there is also such a thing that's a valid opinion. If I say something completely out of my ass, it's a nonsense, right? You have a right to say something against it for sure, and just tell me that that's bullshit. And no matter if I start telling you that, oh, like, it's my opinion. No. Your opinion should be based on the facts, I guess, still. And then it can vary. Yes, there are some things we can agree on to disagree. There can be a slightly different perceptions, but opinions should be based on facts and real situations. If you're just talking something that, oh, that's my opinion and that's it, it's just not valid. Keep scrolling down. Ilia should leave his MMA hobby and fight Canelo like a real man. Well, that's the thing. In boxing, Ilia, we're gonna have a hard time. It's gonna be hard. Because there are so many strong boxers, and because, yes, Ilia is good boxing, but I haven't seen his boxing footwork, so he would, first of all, he would have to adjust to the boxing style straight away. And even there, it's just, you know, I don't know, it's hard, it's not that easy. So I don't think that's quite realistic, him and Canelo doing that, at least at this point. There's so many, he has to defend his, like, lightweight title in UFC. Come on, guys, we want him to do that first. God help this innocent Karen. Okay, well, I'm hiding this one just because I'm not a Karen. So I usually don't take things personally, but if you call me a Karen, I don't really like it. Keep scrolling down, guys. Do you think if Bivol versus Beterbiev was a fixed match? I don't think so. I don't think they're that type of people and personalities. They both come from the countries that it's like the school of boxing is highly respected, and I think it just was Bivol won, second one, and we'll see the third one what's going to happen. So Beterbiev was the first win. Second fight. It was Bivol, and we'll see what's going to happen in the third fight. Your thoughts on Ilia versus Dustin? I don't know. He's just gonna fight Holloway, and he said he will retire. So I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think he's really looking forward to fight Ilia anymore. Like, Ilia is like at his prime. He's one of those fighters who are like at the prime, hungry, trying to build the legacy, the brand, make money. Dustin is literally just wants to end his fight with someone who had the first fight always, and just to do something else with his life, probably focus on his family and the other aspects of the life. That's where you're messing up, because it's your inner beauty that helps you out. Your inner beauty is to make up for your outer beauty. You're a beautiful person inside now, so deal with it. LOL. Okay, Richard, that's an interesting way to put it together. I think I'll take it as a lesson, okay? As I said, I don't think there is anything surprising about a pretty face. Especially you can make a pretty face with the filters, with the AI now, and like on social media. Everyone can be pretty on the social media if they want, and get all the attention and stuff like that. But the way you said, you're a beautiful person inside now, so deal with it. So it is a responsibility. I guess I need to be careful what I say. I need to be careful with the wording I'm putting in the sentence and how I deal with people. I need to be patient, and there are a lot of responsibilities to it. The more public you become, the more you deal with different people. I guess the more responsible you should be held. But the broken hand is a problem. Look at this takedown performance after that. The problem is his gas tank ran out. Yes, both was the problem. I understand his hand broke and he couldn't fully execute his plan anymore. And his gas tank ran out. Well, that's the thing. That's one of the fighters' criteria. You need to have a good stamina. And I understand Merab has way better stamina than anyone else, but that's the thing. Fighters should have. I don't think Umar has actually remotely close to called a good stamina comparing to many other fighters in the division as well. And even if we put all of that aside, I just don't like how he dealt with his loss. If you lose, even if it's you won, let's say you won, and you're still being stripped out of fight, you have a decency. Let others talk. Let others speculate and actually have your back. If you really won the fight and they just ripped you off, don't say those things. Don't say that, oh, I had this hand, that's why I lost, and I don't think I even lost. I need to rewatch the match and see myself, but that is what it is. So you basically disrespected Merab one time again. What kind of respect do you want towards yourself if you are that disrespectful to others? That was my problem with him. You're right, but for the most part, is your physical quality still you talk good? Well, thank you, and I understand, but that's the thing. Physical is fading. Let's say one day something happens and my face gets damaged, or I just get old. I'm getting older, and that's completely natural. And what's gonna have more value, my looks or something that I actually left behind me, which is the legacy, the good doings, the kind doings, the good words that I said, the people I helped. I still think that looks are overrated. And I understand there is a psychological part, there's a primitive part of the brain that just, it just, you cannot kill it. You just see, and there is a pleasant face, there is more pleasant face, this is unpleasant face. And I understand that really makes a difference. Fortunately, today there is possibilities for pretty much everyone to upgrade their looks and make themselves look better and more confident if they need to, and there is no problem with that. There are some people who do like a plastic surgeries, but the way they do it, like the best plastic surgeons do it the way that it's not noticeable and looks completely natural. So there, like, people have those kind of options. It's just that, as I said, looks are overrated, and thanks to our primitive parts of brain, that's something that we cannot avoid. But it's still what we can do is can focus on some things that are valid, the things we talk, we share, the opinions and the insights, and those things we can really focus on. I'm all the way up to the top now. Why are you talking so much about the UFC? Did you mix martial art? Just wondering. Well, if you look at my channel, it's more about sprinting and boxing. Boxing is like my primarily the direction. But I've been watching mixed martial arts. I'm still watching it. I like the history of the martial arts. I try to keep myself educated on those topics. And I guess it's just brought it up itself. Like, none of my streams been specifically, let's talk about the UFC or MMA, but people just bring it up. Like, first they ask about boxing, and then they're like, oh, okay, do you watch UFC? What they ask often about Ilia and Merab, because we're from the same country. And then it just goes and on and on and on. And I just respond to questions. I try to pick some questions on the way, and I guess that's why I talk a lot about UFC in the stream right now. But if you read the chat, a lot of people engage with me and with each other as well, and that's quite a hot topic now. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, the country. You gotta stay hydrated. Okay. Anyways, surprisingly the chat slowed down a little bit. Let's see if I need to just readjust it for a second. Exactly, yes, I had to readjust it for sure. Hi Diana, hi guys, hi everyone. Well, my Instagram is in YouTube bio if you want to check it out. Okay, I'm just removing some complete idiots. Sorry guys, but there's certain things that just crossing the line, and we don't want to have it. Usually me and my husband, we don't want to have complete nonsense in the chat. We want to let people to feel comfortable in it. I had Georgia at the state. Well, I don't know why, but what do you think about Georgia at the country? You meet Ilia Topuria? No, I never met him personally. Been to India? Yes, we've been in India. Okay. Shotokan, karate, or boxing best for the street fight? Mixed martial arts. None of like single. Boxing is way too single directional. Obviously it helps as a striking, but like boxers don't know how to do takedown defense, they don't know how to do kicks and stuff, and they don't know how to wrestle unless they do it separately for fun. And the Shotokan karate, I can even tell you better combat karates, which is Kyokushinkai karate and Goju-ryu karate. Those are two karate styles that are like fully combat styles, and still when it comes to the street fight, I think it's the best to have the mixed martial art background. Hi from Hungary. Hi. Merab or Ilia. Even though Ilia is like, I like his box and stuff like that, Personally, Mirab. I love Mirab. I love his style, where he came from. He's a sweetheart. He's great. So my personal favorite is Mirab. If I'm reconditioning, recovering, what sport would be beneficial for me to get back into? Boxing or Muay Thai? It depends what you want. Muay Thai is way heavier, if you ask me. There are elbows and knees also involved, and yeah, that's quite tough. So I would recommend boxing for the beginning at least. And also, if you build good boxing style in the stance, there's nothing like you can move to the Muay Thai and have a little bit individualized style that can help you and make you a little bit more fluid. So I would start from boxing. The black people in country here in Vietnam, yes, there are some. There are some Cubans, from Jamaicans. I've seen some black people here. Georgia is amazing. Thank you. As I said, Merab is my favorite personal favorite. Khabib or McGregor? Definitely Khabib. Like with his lifestyle and his like everything. The way he preserved his legacy and he's trying to keep moving on. Like McGregor completely became an embarrassment. Also, Khabib was taught from a young age to wrestle, Tyler says, and because he's a Muslim, he tries not to inflict damage too much. GSP is relatable to me a lot because he was bullied and rose above it. Yeah, I like that's another reason why I think we all love and respect GSP. He rose above it, but he never became a bully himself as well. He became one of the most dangerous fighters, but he never became a bully, and he's a decent human being. Absolutely love him. Tyler, again, one more time, thank you for moderating this chat. You look Irish. Yeah, but I'm not. Also, my uncle is Vietnamese. I've been to Vietnam, lovely place, and traffic is crazy, especially with scooter. The pho was amazing. Yeah, the pho, but you say pho, like because if you say it in the wrong way, it actually means something else. Not very good thing. Yeah, and traffic is crazy, but it's fluid, and actually, it's not. Yeah, it's okay. It's not that hard to navigate. I never had any issues with someone literally hitting me or like being close to that. What language do you speak in Georgia? Georgian language. You can Google it up. It's just a Georgian language. It doesn't belong to any other group. There is a Georgian group of languages, and those all of them are in Georgia. They're like Svanetian, Megrelian, and just generic Georgian. I believe Paddy Pimblett will be the champion. Well, we'll see. He gotta prove himself, but it's gonna be not that easy, considering that there are others in the same, other fighters in the same division. I did Shotokan, but I feel it's very situational and defensive, not still, rather run. Yes, I agree. If you're in a street fight situation, try to avoid the fight. Try to not fight. Or if someone wants to desperately fight you, run away. Why not? Well, it's in different situations, but it's in the situations it's also good. I think striking is very good because most of the people I know who are strikers, and they had the situation of someone was trying to get the fight, it's just one punch and that's it, and they just walk away. Merab versus Sandman. Also, like when it comes to Merab, it's someone who has as strong stamina as he has. So they can deal with him basically for a longer period. And obviously some knockout power or, technical, good technique in the grappling to submit. Good striking as well. So yeah, I don't know Sam against stamina necessarily. I didn't observe him that much. Skilled fighter, but as I said, with Mirab, it's you gotta have a good solid stamina. Boxing is a superior sport. Remember Ngannou? Yes, I remember him. Okay, keep scrolling all the way down. Okay, the daily narrative says, my dad taught me how to fight. Eyes, ears, throat, balls, don't waste time. Put them in the ICU. If it's going down, it may as well go all the way down. Otherwise, just walk away. It's not worth it. Yes, I guess. But also, guys, don't forget that in a lot of those kind of fights, there's always dirty stuff happening. There's knives, there's guns. When you have a gun, there no martial arts can help you. When there is a knife, you are at the risk to get stabbed, even if you're, winning the fight. So just try to avoid it at all cost. It's not worth it. Why does your face look AI when talking? The delay hurts. I don't know. It's connection, I guess. Sometimes it's okay. Now it seems okay, but I'm not sure exactly. And thanks you for your answer. Muay Thai is not out of peak, just needs some stress relief from being stagnant this last years. Gotcha. Yeah, you gotta start gradually. Start from boxing. You don't have to do classic boxing necessarily. You can just start from the hands, basically upper striking, just do gradual build up and then add up kicks and build your kickboxing Muay Thai technique. Just take it slowly. I did wrestling in high school. Good for you. Ilia avoiding Arman and he is afraid that why he directly going for Islam and also waiting for Islam. He should have fought Arman, but he knows he will lose badly. Well, it's a little bit weird. I think Islam is stronger than Arman, and Ilia really wanting to fight Islam. I think he was too hyped on himself. Like he's like, okay, he just won. With the good winning streak, like a solid winning streak, in the what was the basically he moved to what was the weight he moved from the lightweight? I always forget what is the about bantamweight, featherweight, from the featherweight to the lightweight. And as I said, in a lightweight now he will have to face contenders, and one of them going to be Arman. I think that's going to be something like I don't believe Ilia is talking Arman. I don't really do believe that. And you call me, maybe it's me being Georgian or something, but on this matter I disagree with you, which is completely fine, because I believe they will have to make it. Let's say even if Ilia or Arman, doesn't matter, don't want to fight with each other. Well, if they wanna, if Ilia wants to be able to defend his belt and Arman wants to get a title shot, they will have to fight. So I think he's going to be one of the soon contenders, and we'll see what's going to happen after. Your max pull-ups, I can do 6 and maybe even 7 strict pull-ups. I think I can do 5 pull-ups, and I can do 6, 7 chin-ups or neutral hold pull-ups, and I can do more with skipping. I have the video, I uploaded the short video just to show where I came from zero in the 3 months, from 0 to 9-10 with the keeping. That was like a military test, so I just had to wrap up my repetitions with the slight keeping. But that was in 2023. The video is from 2023, so you can look it up if you want. How do you speak Spanish? No, unfortunately. From Marrakesh, Morocco. Hi to Morocco. You're welcome here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. One day we will come to Morocco for sure. Okay, and keep going down. Max versus Dustin, prediction. Well, Dustin already won twice and it's his retirement fight, that's his last fight. I think they're gonna put the most, and there is high chance that it's gonna be a split decision or the unanimous decision, I think. But even though Dustin already won twice, I think Holloway, he still has a chance to get that one win, and we'll see. We'll see. I think that's going to be very, very emotional fight. I keep scrolling up, guys. There's a lot of engagement. Where country are you from? Georgia. People, you haven't mentioned that there are honorable mentions: Leon Edwards, Aspinall, Paulo Costa, Hamzat Chimaev. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Tyler, for mentioning them up, and feel free, guys, to say your opinions about those fighters. Keep scrolling up. Okay, Ilia versus Islam. If Islam wins by submission, there will be another fight. If Ilia knocks it, won't. What do you think? Well, I don't know. Like, I believe that if there's one or another wins in the fight, and I think it's 50-50 fight, there definitely should be some sort of triology or something. This is how it used to be, and this is how it should be. It's not just one fight and that's it. You just have trying to make a thing out of it. So I'm not exactly sure how to answer to that question. Also, sorry, it's 2 a.m. for me in States and lots of comments. Tyler, you're doing a great job, and it's no worries. I mean, I'll help you with something, and it's nothing extreme. Like, I didn't see anything way too bad to be hidden from the channel. Okay, I'm all the way up to the top now. 2 a.m. here, gonna get some sheet eye, but I'll leave the stream up. You have a lot of fun and great knowledge, opinions. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for engaging. Your opinions are also very valid, and guys, I always learn something myself too. If there's something that I don't know and you share it with me or explain to me, I'm always trying to look it up after and educate myself better on those topics. So I appreciate all the engagement. You have a good night. What other sports do you watch other than MMA, UFC? Mostly that's what I watch. Boxing, UFC, some other old stuff, like old different type of fights and organizations. And I've been watching a little bit of track and field too. I've watched the Olympics and the track and field specifically, 100 meters and 200 meters, and that's pretty much it. Rest of it, I'm specializing in strength training, resistance training, hypertrophy, gaining muscle mass, losing body fat, stuff like that. You really seem to have deep knowledge about the fights. Thank you, I appreciate it. I still, there are a lot of things, because I'm young and I'm like 25 years old, so when I started watching that stuff, you know, I didn't know much about the older era, and I'll constantly try to, you know, keep, just check the history of the martial arts and just look it up. But I would say that I think I like analyzing things. So whatever information I have provided and whatever information I look up to, whether it's a fight, watching, even highlights sometimes, I just, you know, put then I try to, you know, look up to more about the fighter's personality, what's their background, what was their childhood, you know, a little bit of their personal history. And I like to make those analyses, you know, what is their fighting style, what is their advantages, in my opinion, what is disadvantages, and all those kind of things. I really find I really enjoy doing those things, you know? So I guess I don't consider myself professional, but I really consider myself an enthusiast. Your accent, please tell us where you're from. I'm from Georgia, and I guess that's just a generic individual accent, the mix of different accents. I do track and field. Good for you. What's the secret about sports knowledge? Just try to. It's very easy to learn nowadays. It's not even about checking in internet. You can basically start using AI tool to do the analysis, because you actually, if you ever ask the right questions, that's the definition actually nowadays. You can ask right questions and AI can give you the right information. So you can keep yourself updated. You can look up to and find exact information and the materials you want to do. And yeah, that's how we do it. I think that's the easiest way now. Before, people have to, you know, type out it in the internet, and way before that they have to, you know, find by the journals, and they would have to make the DVDs or CDs, and you know, really keep updated that way. That was way harder than it's now. So I guess that's the secret, which is not really a secret. Are you Russian? No, I'm Georgian. I'm next to the Russia, but trust me, we're not really fond of Russian politics. Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gain. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I actually need to look up more into. I haven't seen that many Cyril Gain's fights. I think I've watched some highlights, but never watched the fight. So I need to really delve into it and build opinion on the realistic facts. I need to watch his fights more. I'm a rap sister. Yes, I'm from the same country as these guys. Thanks for answering my questions. Welcome. I'm trying to answer pretty much all questions, or I pick the questions that might be a common question for many people. So that's what I try to do here. Okay, keep scrolling up. What do you think about the world we live in today? It's very interesting, but it's also messed up, and so many opportunities, but messed up. And I think we, at least the western part of the world, we became, even Georgians, I guess, maybe not that much, but more of the western part of the world getting so entitled, living in the comfort. Stop really focusing on important things. And I think we need to bring that back. We need to bring back resilience, responsibility, accountability, family values, community values in the place to make things better. That's what I believe. Thank you for answering my question. Who do you think is a complete fighter now? I think, Tom Aspinall is very well-rounded in the heavyweights, and I think Islam Makhachev is a very good, well-rounded fighter. Dustin Gagey Holloway too, as well. Alexander Volkanovski is very good, very well-rounded fighter. Also very good. Like, I didn't mention him today in this chat that much, but shout out to Volkanovski. He's one of that's the thing. Sometimes I forget certain fighters. Like, with his personality, I think like I like him as much as GSP. Thank you very much for all the compliments and positives as well. Are you in the USA right now? No, I'm in Vietnam, Nha Trang. Who will be Ilia's next fight? I'm wondering, Arman maybe Turkian? Who is the first top contender right now? I'm not sure exactly. One of the people, I think one of them would be Arman. Hey guys, well, getting all the way up to the top. Christopher says, I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's an achievement. That's the years of the work, so shout out to you. How tall are you and what is your walk-around weight? I'm 161 centimeters or 5.2 feet. And I'm 54, 55 kgs. Somewhere around that. Do you fight in the ring soon? Hopefully, I really want to get back to the sparring, but I would love to see the journey of how you integrate yourself into sparrings and how you do it actually light and technical and in a smart way. Merab versus Corey, I still think Merab. I think unless someone matches his cardio abilities and outcompetes him technically, I don't see Merab being beaten up by anyone. Because guys, you underestimate how much of the impact has the cardio has on the fight. It breaks your psychological state immediately because you're just like your lungs burn and you cannot inhale properly. That is tough. Have you ever been in India? Yes, I've been. Fight a fly. Yes, 5.2. You must fight a fly. I would go down to 51 kgs. That's what I would do. Boxing. Start Biggie. You're 94. Yes, it's quite a big height difference. My husband is 188, so even comparing to them, like to him, I look like teeny tiny. And it's good because I'm quite muscular comparing to a lot of short and untrained guys. And comparing to my husband, I'm just a Cinderella. Yeah, okay, deleting another creep. Guys, feel free to ask questions, joke, engage, join the Discord if you want, but don't write any bullshit. You're married, cool. What's nationality? He's Norwegian. What's your tattoo, if you don't mind? It's the dragon, a woman's face, and the katana. Simple tattoo. is 173 centimeter too short? Well, comparing to what? I know that most women, obviously, most women like taller men, but it's this Western TikTok type of trend became the thing that a lot of Western women want, like almost a 2-meter guy, and it's like not shorter than that. It's like unrealistic standard because the guys that tall are like a literally fraction of the percent. Like I think it's like about 1 point something percent of the world population to be about a certain height. So it is a realistic expectation. But generally, it's good. It's good if it's like you're same height or like a woman is slightly shorter. It's just like most women, I think, will like that guy is slightly taller. So anyone about lower 173 centimeters, I think, would be a good match. But sometimes that's not the case. I actually know couples there's like a slightly height difference and towards the women's height. So even that can work. But as I said, like I think anywhere else in the world, in the countries more like where people are down to earth, I think women don't really focus that much on the height, that like aiming for that very tall guys. They're more about, they want a guy be taller than them, but that's enough. So 173 here in Asia, that's like I think it's not on the taller end. I don't know how to fight. I just model on IG. Well, good for you. As long as you're having fun and not hurting anyone. Norwegian Chad. Yeah, he's a Chad. Would you consider getting tattoo removal? No, all of my tattoos has their character and meaning, and I don't have a problem. Though I'm not getting any more tattoos. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to be like a fully covered or anything. My husband also like asked me kindly to maybe something small, maybe something that we do together, like a little meaningful thing, but like a big tattoos. I have this one, and I have on my neck like an yin yang sun tattoo. I have here like an upper stomach, and I have the calf tattoo, and I have here the writing. That's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. DDP versus comes out. I don't know. I think it's hard to choose. I'm for DDP. You know, I like DDP, but I totally gonna understand if Khamzat wins. What do you think about Conor McGregor nowadays? Do you think he will be a good president? I'm on his fans here in Philippines. Well, I don't think good of Conor anymore at all. One day, like years before, he was my inspiration, like for everyone else, coming from nothing. And his story, you know, his girlfriend who was there for him from the beginning, working so he could afford trainings and stuff. And the way how he has a family, he has children now. He officially never married his girlfriend technically. But looking the way how he's embarrassing his family now, I don't see him as a good president, or I don't see him as a good leader at all. If he's not leading his family properly, I don't think he's going to be a good leader for a country. That's just that's nonsense. I'm like, apart from her, okay, she might be okay with it, and you know, because they have kids together, she wants them to grow with a father, and obviously some financial lifestyle aspects too. She doesn't, you know, she tolerates his behavior, but I don't think she's happy about it. Though what I really think about is the children. Imagine growing up, and before you're a child, your father is like, you know, especially if it spends time with you, he's like, you know, your a role model stuff. But then when you start looking up into internet, or some people come to you and you know what your father did, or have you seen his dick pic? That just happened like today. How would you feel? Would you destroy that as his child, especially if you're a girl? Not only girl, like both, for like how his sons would feel about disrespecting his mother that way and disrespecting them. like this is what men don't understand. A lot of men, you also have, both men and women, when you're an adult and you create a family and you decide to have kids, you both have your responsibilities and you share that responsibility. You don't embarrass your family. You don't put those, you do whatever you agree on or whatever you disagree on the, you know, behind the public, but you don't embarrass your family publicly like that. So I really lost respect to that man. I had amateur fights, around 5, and I had way more open ring sparring. So I never did professional boxing yet. It's quite a lot of questions, guys. Oh, so many women have OnlyFans, but Conor's dick pic will ruin his family. Does this apple to women? Well, let me tell you, I completely against OnlyFans. That's horrible with what women do to their children. Same, absolutely same. I just said that it's both, the responsibility comes for both men and women. So don't go double standard. It's not only one dick pic. It's just what happened, I think, today in the recent hours. It's consistent wave of embarrassment. I mean, if my husband would be there, he would agree. He would tell you his opinion. As a man, you also have a responsibility. What you agree to do on the behind the scenes, that's your thing. But publicly, when you're a public figure and you have a family and your kids are already on exposure, imagine how much stress you do that, like you give to your kids. And both OnlyFans thing is, like I will never do that, and I would never do that to my children. When I heard about the story when this poor kid just committed suicide because he was bullied because of his mother doing OnlyFans, that, like, I couldn't stop thinking about it for a week. I really broke my heart. We need to start prioritizing kids, guys. Like it's a serious topic, and when we're talking about this, like life being messed up and the world being messed up, that's one of the main reasons why the world is being messed up. Or stop prioritizing children. Okay, guys. Well, I have some other stuff to do, so I will have to wrap up this stream. And I appreciate you for all the engagement. I appreciate you being here and asking all the questions. And I will see you next time. Okay. Before I go, I'll show you the shoulder. Heard you were a boxer. You mean like shoulder like this or shoulder like the tattoo? Well, anyways, this is my tattoo. She ran out of the coconut. I still have it. Anyways, thank you, Tyler, for moderating, by the way, one more time. And thank you guys for engaging. And I see you in the next stream. Bye.